Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Thanks for coming by, glad to see you. Working on the Springer bike, doing some fine tuning and some readjustments and just some general maintenance. And let me show you what I got going on. Well, the first thing I've done is, you may remember I had to steal those 5-inch springs out from the seat and put them in the front end a while back to get the Springer to work right. And the seat then was on the 4-inch springs, which really made it contour with the frame. However, it also made me feel like I was falling off, sliding off the back. So I acquired another set of 5.5-inch springs, and I've got them in place. And now the seat is sitting back upright to where I don't feel like I'm falling off of it. It's way more comfortable. It's got more spring. So we've got that done. What else have we done? We tightened the chain. It was way loose. It was way loose. And you may remember when I made this muffler exhaust system, I've got it bolted to the axle nut up under there. However, I never did weld it right here, and I'm glad I didn't, because when you adjust the tire, it needs to go back and forth. So actually, my mistake, or lack of willing to weld it right then, actually turned out to be a good thing, because if it was welded solid here, it wouldn't be able to slide back and forth with the axle when I adjust the chain. So this turned out to be a blessing in disguise, and I've got the chain adjusted to where I'm happy. It's good. Let's see what else we got going on here. It's just like any other Baja. The adjustment nuts are down here. You loosen the axle nuts, tighten these to pull the chain back. That kind of thing. I know you can't see it very well there. See it here a little bit better. And yeah, you can see it better here. Although it's behind the axle. When I made this frame, I put that on the inside so it's not visible out here. But also, I was having a problem with my brakes. This rod that activates them, in order for me to get the brake adjusted to where it would work, it was coming off at an angle much like this one, except the other way. And it just wasn't right. So I've loosened all this up, got it all completely apart, took this finger off of here, pulled it completely off the splines, moved it back, and then put it back on and tightened the securing nut. So now it'll be straight down. And how that affects it is the rod that goes to the pedal was actually hitting underneath the bracket here. The bracket that holds the brake in place. It was hitting that, and I just couldn't get I should have been able to twist this and make minute adjustments, and I had this cranked way up, and it shouldn't have to have done that. So anyway, I got that in the works, and I'll be putting that all back together here in just a few minutes when I finish what I've got going on over here. Let me show you what I got going on over here. Here some time ago, even though I may not have told you about this, my bar that holds my foot pads on, the welds had come loose a little bit. And I just thought, well, that's no big deal. I'll just get in there and tack them back up. But what I didn't realize, when I tacked them up, it had shifted. And the whole thing was actually going downhill in the front. So I have just now taken my grinder and cut these front welds off, and taken that big old crowbar you see laying over there, stuck it through the hole and pried on it, and got this to where it comes back up. Now I just got to find my happy spot. I've got to put these back on there and make sure they're where I want them, and then get in there and re-weld those. So that's what I got going on for right now. That's as far as I've gotten. I thought I'd jump in here and show you before I got too far gone, and then everything I've done was, well, done, and I couldn't share it with you. I didn't actually take any pictures before I started this, but these were actually going downhill. Which now that I've got it re-welded and put back on, you can see how it leans back just a little bit, which is the way you want it. Just a little bit leaned back. Makes for a much more comfortable ride. That's the way your foot actually is more naturally prone to want to be. Alright, so now on the other side we still got to attach the brakes and adjust them, and we should be all set. Okay, so I had to readjust this a little bit just to get that back there far enough for it to slip through the barrel. Now I can put my adjustment nut on. Which, while I'm doing this, it makes me remember that old Brat Ryder made one of these adjustment nuts in his shop the other day that was custom, one off, and instead of having a wing nut type thing like this, it had a circle with knurlings on it for finger, so you could grab it with your finger, and it was just cool as it could be. Now I still have a lot of adjustment I can take out from this other end as well. Up by my pedal. See, that's dragging. That's good. Get a spring on there. I'm gonna have to tinker with this a little bit to get it where I like it, but you get the idea. You can see up here how I have this all to where that'll go in and out of there. And then I can adjust it and put the backing nut on it when I get it where I want it. And this just slips over the bar that holds my footrest. And yeah, I put grease on there before I put it back together, so it doesn't get rusted up and junked up. So yeah, I gotta fine tune that and we'll be set. Alright, now we got her back together. So start it up, take it around the block, and see if I'm happy with all that. And yeah, that was a cold start. It hasn't ran for several days. it's going to take a little tinkering. I can tell already that brake pedal is pulling up way back higher than I like it. It should be down around here, but that spring pulls it back. So I need to probably figure out some way to counteract that. And that's because my stop, when I rolled that bar back, the stop moved. And yeah, I'm not sure I have that back tire completely true. I'm gonna have to ride it a little bit and see if it's tracking right. Anyway, stay tuned and I'll get back with you. The stop I have on this brake pedal is just a tab that I have spot welded to the back side of this, and there's a notch in this where it pivots and it comes back and hits that notch and stops. Well, since it's just tack welded, I was able to take a big old punch and a BFH hammer and a big, you know, hammer, and tap on it several times and get it to budge and get that to where it's still got more travel than I like, but I don't think I can bend it anymore. I may end up having to cut that off of there and re-weld it in a different position. That's about all the brake pedal I should really need. But it works. The brakes work, and they work good. And I'll tell you what, all in all, the longer seat springs, I remember riding it before and I'd hit a dip in the road and it would actually bounce down and throw me back up. But all in all, I like them. It's a lot softer ride. That extra 1.5 inches in those springs really cushions the ride a lot. And it still has a pretty fair stance to it as far as that goes. So all in all, for today, I'm happy. I got a few things done that have been on my mind, and through all that foul weather we had last week, I wasn't able to get out here and do anything, and I feel good about that, what I got done today. People keep asking me, why haven't you painted that thing yet? And this is why. I'm still having to go back and work out all the little bugs, you know. This is my first real full-on build ever, where I built everything, and I'm just making sure I get all the little bugs out of it, just like the frame breaking. I still got to do some gussets in that front end. I'm not done, and I was going to tackle that today, but I don't know, it's getting kind of late. But I've got the metal over there. I just got to draw out a template, cut them out, clean that up, and weld them in. You know, take the front end off and then weld them in. But I may do that tomorrow, don't know. But I think for right now, I'm just going to take her for a spin. And one of you guys mentioned here a while back in one of my videos, you commented that on my helmet that I painted, that I needed to put my Tufdog Harley-Davidson crest stickers on the front of my helmet. And I told you that I had done that, but maybe I never showed you. Anyway, yeah, there it is. Thank you, Steiny. Old Shane over at SCH comes through again. So if you guys hadn't seen that, now you know that, yeah, that's on there. And it looks right as rain. I'm real happy with it. And yeah, so I'm gonna go for a little punt and just enjoy the scooter for a few minutes. And thank you for coming by. I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you very much. Glad to have you on board. All my regular viewers and people that watch, and all my old subscribers, thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys. Keep those comments coming. Dig it when you do. Love chatting with you guys. And y'all take care. Keep the shinies high up. And see you later. Yeah. Cheers.